What happened to all my fish? What's up everyone, Aaron with Aaron's Aquatics here with another video on the 210 gallon saltwater aquarium. I've got a lot to talk about today. I've got new fish, I've got new coral, I've got new lights. That's a big one. If you've been following me on Instagram, you'd already know that.
Shame.
Now before we get too crazy into all of the new stuff that's been going on in the tank, I'm gonna be a little bit selfish, okay? I'm gonna take a little bit of me time, a little bit of Aaron time. I'm gonna ask you guys, any of you in the Houston area or maybe the greater Houston area around Galveston or outside of that, where do you go fishing, okay? I used to fish a long time ago. I just started fishing again relatively recently, actually. This past weekend was my first time going out. Just fishing for brackish water fish, caught a flounder, was pretty happy about that. I'm basically Jeremy Wade at this point. So, you know, surprised later I'll start some fishing channel. No, I'm never gonna do that. There's no way. I've got enough fish channel stuff going on here. I don't need a separate channel for all that nonsense. If you guys know any good fishing spots, that's really what my selfish part of this video is about. Let me know in the comment section below. Houston, fishing spots, prefer freshwater if you guys got it. I can do saltwater, but freshwater. Let me know, comments. All right guys, now before we get too far into talking about the coral, about the fish, I wanna talk about the elephant in the room, just because it would kind of be hard to explain everything without going over it first, is the lights. As many of you know, I recently have replaced my Radeon G4 Pros with a Eastman Spectra. This is a metal halide T5 combo. There are 2 T5 bulbs on this side, 2 on this side, and 3 metal halide bulbs along the center. Now, I will have a video dedicated to all this, exactly what I did, what setup I went with. God, I still have tape up. I still have tape up there from where I was marking where the studs were, so ignore that. It's got a hanging fixture. If you come down over here on the actual lights itself, you will see my giant rat's nest of a wire job. I really should get this fixed up. Anyways, these are, all 3 are 250 watt ice cap ballasts. These things have been absolutely great so far. If you want to plug them into a controller, they're 0 to 10 volt controllable. So you can plug this into an Apex and kind of do a dimming feature if you want to kind of replicate a sun up, sun down method. Right now, I'm just using a power strip. That's only because, God, I'm all over the place today. And yeah, by the way, I got ladders still here because I just received a smart timer, which is actually what I use in the Clown Harem tank, and the Refugium light on the big tank to control the on-off timers. And so right now we're just gonna kind of do an on-off switch. But guys, this fixture looks amazing. And now right now, I only have the blues on from the T5s. Now, I wanna talk a little bit about this because these aren't really T5s. These are actually Aquatic, the Aquatic E5X Blue Pop bulbs. Okay, these are technically LEDs in the shape of T5s, okay? You can see they look exactly like T5s, but these are actually LEDs. And the wonderful part about these is while they have a higher upfront cost, I'm talking like $60+, they last much, much longer than your traditional T5 bulb. So I wanna see what value I'm gonna be getting from this here in the short term. If I don't like them, well, I mean, lessons learned. It's kind of an experiment on my end. But of course, T5s are absolutely wonderful. I still have the box that they came in over here. But here is the remainder, my cat carry case, my remaining Radeon G4s and the mounting rail. Now, I've got plans for these. Trust me, I've got a plan. You guys will see shortly if you attend the live stream later this week. Let's go ahead and actually take a look what this looks like when we plug in the metal halides. Now, I wasn't really thinking about doing this one-handed. Oh God. There we go. One. I can do this. We can do this, Aaron. All right. Okay. All those are plugged in, and as you can see, they're starting to boot up. Now, it takes time for these lights to come on. This is old technology. However, I noticed it probably takes a good, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute for them to fully come up. The bulbs that I'm using are Hamilton's 20K Spectrum metal halide bulbs. These are for 250 watts. But here, let me kind of kick off these lights. So as you can tell with the metal halides on, the light does become quite a bit more daylight colors. The metal halides are only on right now for about 4 hours a day, and that's primarily for acclimation reasons only. Eventually I do want to get these running about 8 hours a day, but so far the corals have taken to it extremely well. I mean, as you can see right here, if I can get a focus on these tenuous, you can see that they have full polyp extension, and I've been running these metal halides for the past few days. They're absolutely loving these new conditions, and actually I'm already seeing some improvement to the coloration of the coral, as well as some of just the overall health indicators that you get from Acropora and certain types of SPS. Now that we've talked about the lights, let's talk about the fish. As you guys know, from my last video, I talked more about it, about my issues with quarantining fish over the past 8 or so months. I was super excited to get these fish in. I would have recorded some footage of the transfer process acclimation, but I decided not to because I wanted to make sure that the fish got into the tank, waited a few days, make sure everything was good before making this video. Just because of my experience so far with issues quarantining fish and everything, I didn't want this to be a disaster. I don't want another one of those things, so I kind of cheated a little bit, but now you guys can see the fish. Let's take a look at them. All right, guys, so we've talked about the lights, we've talked about the quarantine fish that had, ATO. Finish, please. We finally have the new coral that I want to talk about that I've had in my tank for about the last 5 to 7 days. Now, all of these are SPS or Acropora. Almost all of them are tenuous. There's one of them which I'm not entirely sure what it is because I didn't really look it up because it was a freebie. I'm not going to complain about freebies, but I just don't know a whole lot about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at them and I'll explain them to you as we go. English, hard, Jesus. Let's go. All right, everybody, these are the new Acropora that I picked up this past week. Again, this was from a member on the Reef to Reef forums. If you guys are interested, go ahead and reach out to me. I can get you in contact with him if you want some of his choice SPS. He's got a ton to choose from. His grow out stations are incredible, and he's an incredibly helpful guy. So anyways, let's go ahead and quickly talk about these individual pieces. We're gonna be starting from the right, and we're gonna be moving our way to the left, okay? So on the right side, we have a this is a Matte V Orange Envy, and honestly, I'm starting with my favorite probably, but this one is an amazing piece, guys. You can see full polyp extension. It's kind of green at the center, and you have some of that orange color developing near the ends of the polyps. Now, a lot of these coral that I'm showing to you right now, most of them look very green, and a lot of these nubs
and maybe ½ inch to 1 inch frags, they start off looking very green, but you then start seeing some of those extra colors that you expect to see in some of these coral develop near the ends of the colonies. That green may maintain as part of the base, but you definitely get more colors. So as you can see here, the difference between my Matte V Orange Envy and a much larger colony, you can see those orange polyps, those orange colors really starting to develop. The second from the right is another Matte V coral. This is a Rainbow Envy. So it's a very similar line as the Orange Envy. It's also a tenuous, except these start to develop a lot more interesting kind of rainbow colors. If you guys have seen any coral similar to like Aqua SD's Rainbow Millie, it kind of develops some of those traits as well, even though this is still a tenuous. Some of those coloration is more of what I'm talking about. But another fantastic piece, definitely the smallest of the lot, but one of the largest polyp extensions that I've ever seen on a small coral like this. I mean, look at that. Look how fuzzy that little thing is. It's crazy. If you look at the base, it almost looks like some of the polyps are coming out of the glue. It's kind of a nuts coral. Right there in the middle is, in my opinion, a classic that I've wanted for a very long time. This is a Jason Fox Homewrecker. To me, this is something that really kind of got me into Aquapora to begin with. It was one of those things that I could really never afford. I mean, I could, but financially it probably wouldn't be a good decision. But since then, prices have definitely come down, so I was really excited to pick up this really nice large frag. You can already see near the middle-ish section, you're getting some branching growth. Hopefully this one starts encrusting soon, but not before I place it on top of the rocks. In the back is Reef Raft Canada's Pretty in Pink. Now, this is a coral that I wasn't originally planning on picking up, but after seeing the mother colony from this reefers list, I just had to get it. I mean, this is one of those corals that really adds a lot to the tank. Now, right now you can see it's mostly this pastel-ish pink color with orangish polyps. Now, for most of the pictures that I've seen online, as well as a couple of colonies that I've seen in person, the polyps usually aren't that big. But in here, polyps look really large, so I'm actually pretty excited to see how well this one is doing inside my system. All right, guys, I had to turn this one around only because you really couldn't see how large the piece was without showing it from the horizontal side. But there's these 3 large branches of a AV99 Orange Crush. AV99, it sounds a little bit weird, but that's actually the abbreviation of the name of the guy that cultured this particular coral, and he's also the guy that I purchased all these coral from, Aquavista 99. Again, if you guys want to talk to me about getting in contact with him, just because I didn't really get permission from him to contact him directly, so if you do, just go ahead and let me know. We can try to work something out. Anyways, so this particular Aquapora is an amazing looking piece, guys. Once it starts getting larger, you can kind of see it a little bit at the tips already. The orange really starts coming through. Here in this mother colony shot, this is from his own tank. It is such an unbelievable piece. I'm super excited to get this in the tank and just growing the hell out of this. Now, for the final Aquapora that I picked up, the one on the left, I did forget to mention that both this one and the one that I talked about before, the Orange Crush, these were both freebies, guys. So the other ones are the ones that I actually purchased. The Orange Envy, Rainbow Envy, the Homewrecker, and the Pretty in Pink, those were all ones that I bought. But the Orange Crush and this one, which I'm gonna go ahead and leave unnamed only because Aquavista 99, he is planning on changing the name for it or giving it a name himself because he did culture this piece. So I want to go ahead and wait. So for now, we're just going to call this the Unknown Coral. Guys, I am super excited to put these out on my aquascape, but I can't, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But man, these to me are top shelf Aquapora. I've wanted these in my collection for quite a bit of time, just couldn't find somebody for them. There are still some that I'm looking for, but these are really a cut above some of the rest. And I'm really excited to grow these out, maybe frag a few, maybe sell some, give some away to you guys. We'll go ahead and see how that goes.
The reason I don't want to put these coral on the rocks just yet is because of this new light. Now, I haven't had a chance to take the PAR readings with the LEDs on, with T5 LEDs, by themselves, with the metal halides by themselves, and then with them combined. Now, if you remember on the Clown Harem tank, I promise I'll do an update on it soon. I did a whole video on taking par readings, how to do it, what you need to do, and I'll be doing the same thing on the big tank as well. Now, I'm gonna be meeting up with one of the Marsh Reef members. It's a Houston Reef Club. Guys, if you're not part of it, you gotta join. It's super cheap, you pay for a year, you get special pricing at events like Reef Currents, which is a huge event in the Texas area, frag swaps and all that kind of good stuff. You also get access to a newer Apogee par meter, which is fantastic. I mean, that's like $200 to $300 savings, right? I mean, I think it costs like $5 to $10 to join Reef Currents. I mean, Marsh Reef. $5 to $10 to join Marsh Reef. I can't remember the exact price. But you also get discounts at most of the Houston local fish stores. FJW, Ocean Life Aquarium, they all give you pretty great discounts as long as you remember to tell them that you're a member of the club. Last thing I wanted to talk about is tomorrow on Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing a live stream around, I think, 6 to 6:30. Feel free to join. I'd love it if you'd be there. If you can't make it, I'm always gonna publish that live stream on my YouTube channel itself. We're gonna be talking about a project that I've got upcoming that I'm super excited about. Part of it has to do with those Radeon lights that I now have free. I could sell them, I could put them inside a new system of some kind, we don't know. So if you guys are at the live stream, that's when you'll find that out. All right guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We talked about a lot today, man. New lights, new fish, new coral, some special project that I'm just teasing you this entire time. Anyways, my name is Aaron. This is Aaron's Aquatics. I'll see you guys next time.